You're buying or selling a home, and then disaster strikes, a flood. And I'm not talking about a basement filling with water. You are knee-deep in a flood of paperwork. So many forms, so many places to sign, and so much to understand. Renee Torcha is here to help us wade through it all. Renee's with Gateway Title. Thanks for joining us, Renee.
Hi, Armand.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Let's form a list of these forms. First up are disclosure forms.
Right.
What are those?
There are two sets of disclosure forms. There's the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form and then the lead-based paint disclosure form. Those two forms have to be filled out by the seller before they show a property. And then when the buyer agrees that's the house they want, they have to acknowledge and sign those documents as well.
Right, and that's even before the purchase agreement.
Right, those should be done before the purchase agreement's filled out.
All right, so then there's the purchase agreement. That's the big one. Is it simple?
You know, actually a purchase agreement are basically the instructions that a title company, that our escrow department needs to put this whole process together for the buyers and sellers exactly the way they want it to. It's got the dates in there when it's going to transfer, and obviously the price and how people are going to buy the property. Basically, the purchase agreement is just that, instructions that we follow to make it go how they want it to go.
So you're with a title company. A lot of
Right.
people don't understand that the purchase agreement is not just the purchaser and seller's agreement, it's also the instructions how to make the deal work.
Right,
All right.
exactly.
After the purchase agreement, what's next?
After the purchase agreement is signed and dated, the first thing that we do as the title agent is we order the title exam on the property that's being sold. And then when that exam comes back, we make the commitment, which the commitment is what the lenders need to know that the property is insurable and marketable, the conditions that have to be met to make it to make that happen for them. And we also go back to check the chain of title in the title exam to make sure that everything was done correctly with prior deeds and so forth. And then we also see if there's any liens on the property.
And if there's no title exam and no title commitment offered, the deal's not going anywhere, right?
Right. Even if it's a cash deal, to be able to issue title insurance to the buyer, which protects the ownership of their property as long as they own it, it actually protects them from things that could happen that we don't even know about that happened in the past that might be discovered in the future.
Very important protection.
Right, and that protects them.
All right, so you get the purchase agreement, you go through, you get the title, it comes back fine. Is that it?
That is not it yet.
Okay, what next?
If the buyer is using a lender, we have to wait for that lender to give us the instructions for their loan. They send them to our escrow officer, Barb. And that can take some time because there's an appraisal they do. There's also things the buyer needs to bring forth to the lender, such as, you know, bills they have to pay, documents. We can't do anything at the title company unless we have the approval from the lender to start preparing those documents.
And a lot of times, it's my understanding that the whole deal can be delayed if the borrower, if the buyer doesn't get the paperwork fast enough and quickly to the bank.
Right, and that's the hardest thing. You know, buyers and sellers and realtors call us, they're saying, what's the holdup? And we can't do anything until that lender lets us know that everything is ready and set to go. Then they let us know, and Barb, our escrow officer, she prepares those documents. The lender still has to approve them again. Then we call the borrower to come in and sign and bring in their down payment. If there's no lender involved, though, we still have things we need to do, too. So our escrow department's really busy.
So a lot of work, a lot of
Yeah.
paperwork. It's important
Yeah.
people understand it because if they don't, you know, the whole deal can fall apart.
Right, right.
Renee, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Very
welcome.
good information.
And we also have our workshop coming up Wednesday evening, May 11th at 6:30 for sellers, buyers, for sale by owner, people with realtors who just want to learn more about the whole process and really know what you're signing when you do purchase or sell a home.
Those programs are so helpful,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it when you offer it to our viewers.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Feel like you're drowning in that man-made disaster of paperwork? Renee's throwing you a lifeline. Be sure to attend her free seminar, or at least give her a call if you would like some more information. The number's coming up next.
For more information, call Gateway Title at 1-800-357-0567 or log on to www.gatewaytitle.com. Next, is smiling really contagious?